The new Guardians Global event has been changed for the better thanks to Project Resolve. I'm going to break down this event for you, walk through those changes, give you some tips and tricks, and a couple of builds so you can get massive XP and the best gear in the game.
And if you don't know, now you know.
So if you go into your menu here, you scroll on over to the Guardians event. So this is not a brand new event. However, they did make some new changes to it. So if you click on this here, basically you got these dudes with that yellow shield. They're called Guardians, and they protect the minions who have the red shield. And so the minions used to be and are still pretty close to being immune, but they used to be immune, and you had to take out the Guardian in order to kill the rest of the guys. And there were some exceptions to that, but eliminating the Guardian now temporarily increases your weapon damage, which is great, rate of fire, which is awesome, reload time, so faster reloads, we like that, and restores and increases armor and removes the damage reduction from protected enemies. So kill the Guardian and then everybody's free reign. So here are the changes that they made as of Project Resolve to the Guardian event. So when killing an angel or a Guardian, in addition to restoring armor to full, so you get 100% armor on kill, they're also going to give you 50% of total armor back as bonus armor. So that's crazy. Now that bonus armor isn't stackable, but that's how they're going around increasing your armor. So that's great because that means we can play fast. It also means we can explore our build diversity and kind of have fun with this because we know we're gonna have power and defense. Let's see here, increased damage buff from 30 to 50%. So it was 30, it's now 50. So we're gonna be that much stronger. And then minions now receive 15% of incoming damage instead of being completely invincible. So you can push through them and kill them even if you didn't take out the Guardian. So the damage buff duration has been increased from 10 to 15 seconds. So 15 seconds of damage buff. So every kill refreshes that. So as long as you're killing, you keep that up. And so really cool event, but it was also really challenging. So what happens is the Guardian dude might be hiding in the back, and then you have rushers who are immune. And so that would put you obviously in a pickle and limit you onto what kind of build you would run and ultimately lead to frustration. Snipers and rifles, really strong range weapons, are great because the Guardian does tend to be far away from you or in the back. You don't always have the luxury of him coming out the door first or being out of cover. So having a way to pick him off at range is a good idea. So by participating in these events, you also get access to this mini rewards track, and we got 2 exotics at the end of this one, but you earn red stars, and you earn red stars by leveling up your character while the event is active. And so you got to get all these red stars to get those caches. It's that easy. You're also banking those red stars as a form of currency. So once you get those red stars, you can start spending them over here at the season vendor that's only open when a global event is active. And so you do have to spend all your red stars before the event ends, or you will lose whatever remainder you have. The best ones are usually named item caches, optimization caches, legacy season caches, and exotic caches. So these are basically what most people buy. Named item caches are very valuable for new players, so don't overlook those. They're affordable, and they get you access to that Dark Zone exclusive gear that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get unless you went in there. Because you have to level up to get those red stars, the name of the game is XP, and so what you're going to want to do is turn on as many directives that you feel comfortable with running, and moreover, you're going to be wanting to look for builds that cater to directives. So builds that are finely tuned for directives, that have an answer for all the challenges that directives bring. So that way you can just reap in massive amounts of XP and effectively get what we would say the best gear in the game. This is how we do it. And now we have Countdown to help us. Okay, my favorite one is first. And so it's playing with a weapon that is doing really well in both close quarter combat and long range. And that's the M1A Classic. Okay, and it's also using Hunter's Fury, but if you look at Hunter's Fury closely, it really well aligns with the Guardians event. So the Guardians event gives you damage. Hunter's Fury gives you amplified damage. The Guardians event gives you 100% armor on kill plus bonus armor. Hunter's Fury gives you 20% armor on kill. The event gives status effects to enemies on kill. Apex Predator gives a status effect to enemies on kill. It staggers them. So the way it seems to be playing out is that the Guardians event is sort of amplifying everything that Hunter's Fury does. And like I mentioned before, you want all those elements in place, you know, the damage and the added survivability, so that you can be effective at killing the Guardians and then maintaining even without the Guardians buff. And Hunter's Fury brings all of that to the table. And I know it looks strange on a rifle build, but trust me, it really works. Okay, I'll walk you through the build. And so you know, yes, this build works without the Guardians event. event too. So I'm running the Ninja Bike backpack, and the reason why is because I felt like we didn't really need any additional bonus armor from like the Memento. We didn't need any additional bonus armor from Bloodsucker, because again, the Guardians is gonna supplement. And since Hunter's Fury already brought armor on kill, we're good to go. So I decided to just run the Ninja Bike backpack here to free up some space for some other utility. So Resourceful, what it does is basically opens up a brand bonus or a gear set bonus. And so Hunter's Fury, I only have 3 pieces, but because of the backpack, it's making it act like I have 4 pieces. So we're really getting that 20% armor on kill and an Apex Predator, which is giving us 20% amplified damage. And I do use that a lot, believe it or not, even with the rifle. So we're playing close quarter and we're playing at range. And then we're going to debuff enemies on kill, which is going to stagger them. And then we get a stacking 5x5 amplified damage for 10 seconds. And then I got armor, headshot damage, and more headshot damage. You don't need to armor up too much because you're going to have so much armor on kill. Play into that. The gloves, weapon damage, headshot damage, and the holster is my final piece, weapon damage, headshot damage. And then I'm running the Fox's Prayer, which of course is a really good matchup for the rifle that we're running. And we got damage to targets out of cover, which is nice. Weapon damage and headshot damage here. But what I'm really after is that 3rd piece bonus, which is giving us 30% weapon handling. Here's the chest piece, which is finally unlocking that 3rd piece. I got weapon damage, headshot damage, and headhunter. And what I'm after there is that 1,250% damage cap. And you have to have at least 150% headshot damage to get that. And as you can see here, we have 205% headshot damage on our rifle. So the reason why I want that weapon handling is because I like landing more shots on the head. And of course, the M1A doesn't really have the greatest of reloads. So I wanted that reload fast. So with this setup, we have a 1.9 second reload. And remember, the event is also going to buff the reload and the RPMs. And I tell you, the classic M1A loves both of those things. It feels really good with elevated RPMs and a fast reload, I gotta say. I have 10 expertise on mine. I recommend stacking some expertise on your classic M1A if you can afford it. And you can go up to expertise 12 and only have to spend the most basic of resources, but you don't have to sweat it for this build if you don't want to. And if you feel like you need more power, take off this armor core here because you don't really need it. You have a lot of armor on kill. Okay, crit damage, damage to targets out of cover, and then I'm running determined so I can start going for body shots. And yes, this thing is chain killing off of the body, even on elites, on a heroic content with all the directives. And so this is also really nice build for all the directives because it has all the answers you need for the directives. Rifles give you lots of ammo, so you're not going to run into ammo issues like you would with snipers, especially if you're playing out of cover. And it doesn't really rely on skills, and so you can run the skills directive. It does line up with shields, so if you want to use your shield more, make sure you don't have your skill directive on. Otherwise, the decoy is fine for me, and you could run a fixer here instead of the shield. My backup weapon is the Nemesis. You can really run whatever you want, but that's what I ran. And the TAC 50, you can use that for your long range when you want to take somebody out with a single shot and kick off your headhunter chain killing for your M1A. Easy build. Okay, here are a few quick tips. So also you should know that there's some status effects that are applied from this event. So when you kill a guardian, he's going to explode. That explosion can also hurt you, so beware of that pink circle, but it'll also affect his minions or any of his allies that are standing around. So it's a good thing that that explosion is there. And when you take out a guardian, it's also going to shock the minions that he's protecting. Really cool. That means any talents that increase your capabilities based on status effects can be something you add to your build. Wicked, the talent on the backpack, which would be really useful here because it can't get disabled. It can only time out. So if there are more than one guardian out there, when you kill one guardian, it's possible for the minion to reassociate with the other guardian. Kind of annoying. Just eliminate all the guardians as a priority. And this one's important. You're going to want to be really careful how far you roll your build or lean into the event for its buffs. So we're talking about the damage and armor on kill. For one, you're going to be normalized when you go out there until you kill that guardian. So you won't get the buff until you get the kill. So you need to be strong enough to get that kill, right? Okay. What I'm talking about really is that there will be times where you'll have multiple waves, even back to back, that will deliver enemies without any guardian or minions. So if you create a build that completely relies on the guardian buff for it to operate or be fun or feel good, there's going to be enough times that you'll be hung out to dry that you might get frustrated. Make sure you already have sufficient damage and enough survivability and look at the guardian's buff as a bonus. Another quick tip is that when enemies first spawn or when they come out of a spawn door, you'll notice that there's a few seconds before their status is activated for guardians. So if it's a minion, he will not be be immune for the first couple of seconds. So you can spawn kill pretty easy in this game. That being said, but really, range weapons are going to be your friend. Yes, it is possible to push through and kill minions that are protected with an SMG, but the time to kill is extended, and we know if you don't have an optimal time to kill, you're gonna get in trouble. So this is a great time to whip out your rifles, whip out your assault rifles, whip out your snipers, and then have your backup weapon as something that plays close encounter. Okay, here's the other build I was running during the event, and this one raised a lot of eyebrows because the SVD is really impressive in Season 3, thanks to Project Resolve. And it aligns with our concept that you want something that can play both at range and close quarters. This thing is chain killing with a single shot and can rapid fire and rip off heads, even if they're wearing the strongest of helmets. It's extremely impressive and definitely a must try. It's the same backpack as the other build, Ninja Bike, with headshot damage. So very similar in structure between the first build and this one. The knee pads are also the same. So I have Overlord, Fox's Prayers with damage to targets out of cover and headshot damage here. And again, the chest piece is the same because I'm actually going after that weapon handling. The build was so strong, and then you add the buff from the event on top of that. I was like, yeah, okay, well, I don't need more armor on kill. I don't need more bonus armor. What am I going to take? And I decided, well, hey, why not go for more weapon handling? 301% headshot damage, not too shabby. 131% stability, what a beast. And finally, 76% all-in weapon handling. This is what I'm calling the best rifle build in the game. Although it's a marksman rifle, it's how I feel like the rifles should be playing. So the mask is Habsburg because SVDs are marksmen, and so this is giving us headshot damage and marksman rifle damage. I have it all red with headshot damage as the mod, and then I'm running 2 pieces of hotshot for more weapon handling and headshot damage, marksman rifle damage, and I have headshot damage as a stat. And then finally, my gloves are headshot damage. I'm running the decoy and the fixer. And remember, you're getting 100% armor on kill with that 50% bonus armor. So you don't really need to add any more defense to this. You can play out of cover. The only warning I give you about playing out of cover a lot is to keep an eye on your ammo if you're running that ammo directive. So I have the sharpshooter specialization, and that generates ammo, but only when you're in cover. If you're gonna be spending a lot of time out of cover, you can run gunner, which is also gonna give you 10% armor on kill. Not bad. For the backup weapon, I'm running the Sweet Dreams, but I actually never got a chance to test this out to see how it works with the minions being guarded. And then I'm running the D50 with Determined. So both builds are amazing. So even though this one rips, I actually have more fun with this one. The reason why I'm calling the other one my favorite is because of how well it aligns with the event. And the rifle, the M1A, you don't have to worry about ammo issues. That makes it easier to play. I recommend you try them both because you don't want to miss out on the action. Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is TuxedoBandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code TuxedoBandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.